Welcome back to Mimi's Home and Garden. I've been pretty busy the last couple of weeks, and I just wanted to share with you a recent Costco haul and how I picked up some big bags of produce, and I'll show you how I'm going to put those and preserve those. First one was a 10-pound bag of yellow onions that I purchased for about $6. So I'm going to dehydrate these, and I'll show you the steps. I have my onions, I peeled them, and then I'm going to use my meat slicer to slice these up. And the video shows me struggling a little bit. I needed to put some WD-40 on my roller so it would move a little more smoothly, but after I did that, the onions peeled really quickly. And then you spread these out on a dehydrator tray, breaking the rings apart. You could do it this way, or you could chop. This way I didn't cry as much as if I were to have chopped the onions up in small bits. But with this, I am going to have to blanch these before they're dehydrated. So I think I had like 11 big size onions, and I went ahead and sliced all of those, placing them one onion per tray. I have a 10 tray dehydrator, so one of the onions I had to split between two trays. I had a pot of boiling water on the stove, and each tray, one at a time, I dumped in there and blanched those for 1 minute only. So as soon as I got them in the pot, I set my timer on the stove and blanched all 10 trays of these spring onions. The blanching just makes it better when you dehydrate it. So that's what I did with this. I'll show you a picture inside the pot. That's the onions that I blanched. So after 1 minute, we take those out of the boiling water and put them into a bowl. And they're really hot. So I drained them really good using a strainer. Then I'm going to take it over to the sink, spread it out on the tray, and give it a good cold rinse in the sink. So there it is. These trays are so awesome. I just set it right down in my sink, and I run the cold water over the blanched onions. Then I spread them out real well all over the dehydrator tray. I did this with all 10 trays. 10 pounds of onions fit perfectly in this dehydrator. So I set it at 125 for 12 hours. So I did it yesterday afternoon, and it ran all through the night. And the next morning I got up and I had these nice dehydrated yellow onions. See how much smaller they are now? Still just as good to use in soups and stews. But remember, you don't use as much because this was actually a 10-pound bag. So I would pull out just a few to put in like a pot of soup or a beef stew, chili. These will keep for a very long time in these mason jars, especially if you have an oxygen absorber to put in each jar. So here I am pushing down, trying to pack as many as I can in a jar. And then I'll show you, see how crispy and crunchy these are. Turned out great. Doesn't take up as much room, and it stores a lot longer than, say, a bag of onions. And if you don't have your own garden and you don't grow your own food, going to Costco and getting this type of produce in bulk is perfect for you if you want to be able to preserve some food and keep it for long-term storage. So in the next two videos, I'll show you how I took a 15-pound bag of russet potatoes that was about $8, and I pressure canned those, so I'll show you how I did that in the next video. But again, here I bought it in bulk, my Costco haul, 10-pound bag of spring yellow onions, and I'm pushing these down into a quart jar. I was able to get all of these onions in 2 quart jars, so that worked out really well. If you have any questions or comments about dehydrating onions, please leave those down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer. I highly recommend getting a dehydrating book or YouTubing videos on how to dehydrate foods. I love my Excalibur dehydrator. It's a 10 tray. It's well worth the money I pay because I've been able to dehydrate and to store a lot of good food in my pantry using the dehydrator. This is my green ball jar that I absolutely love. This was a limited series set of jars that came out, and I bought a couple of cases. Now I wish I had bought more because I love this color. They work just as well as the regular mason jars, and jars are hard to find right now, so I'm using my decorative ones for storage. So here are the 2 quart jars, 10 pounds of spring onions dehydrated. Took about 12 hours to dehydrate those, but now I'll be able to store them in the pantry for long-term use. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for pressure canning russet potatoes will be next. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you like this video. Have a blessed day.